delivers this keynote. I did a keynote last year. This is just a continuation of what we discussed last year. Again, we are so proud to be a platinum sponsor of this event. Please continue to do the good thing you are doing, and we will always be here to support you. So let's start, and sorry again for this hiccup. Next time I won't bring my Mac. I will try to bring a Windows laptop.
Linux.
Linux, yeah, absolutely. So just by show of hands, who are the developers in the room?
Bit of everything.
So it's a developers conference. I would be expecting a bit more, yeah.
I'm sure.
Any BAs, business analysts, okay? UI, UX guys? Good. I've got a bad news for you, as I've already spoiled it. You're fired. And that's my last slide. Thank you very much for your attention. But jokes apart, you know, at SWAN, we hire many resources, and as we cannot get all the resources in Mauritius, we try to outsource those resources to various companies, mainly from Africa and from India. At some point in time this year, we had our IT department within SWAN, more than 160 resources, which is much bigger than any IT company in Mauritius. Okay? That's because we have got many projects ongoing and we need many resources. But earlier this year, a couple of months back, we terminated the contract of at least 30 resources. Not internal, not our full-time employees, but the resources that we hire abroad. They were always on contract, and we didn't renew them. So that's happening. And that can happen to you tomorrow if you don't take the right decision today. Some people sitting in India, in Africa, they got their letters, and it's written in that letter, you are fired. So this is my message to you today. Just be conscious about it. These things are happening. And if we do not take the right decision today, we might be in this position tomorrow. Things are ever changing. And we have to keep pace with that, okay? In this ever changing world, and that's why you would argue why I have chosen this as the topic for today. You know, who is familiar with this concept? Anyone? The cheese has moved, okay? How AI redrew the map of developers, analysts, designers, and so on, okay? And for those who don't know me yet, I'm Sujit Woozageer, Head of Digital Transformation for the SWAN Group, okay? So, this is a strong message, and it comes from a book written by Dr. Spencer Johnson, Who Has Moved My Cheese. If you haven't read it yet, okay, please do so. Grab a copy today. That will really change the way you look at things, okay? And if you can't grab a copy, just go on YouTube. There are so many videos around Who Moved My Cheese. So the story is about 4 characters in a maze. There is Ham, H-E-M, Paul, H-A-W, Sniff, and scurry, the two mice. So they used to live in this maze, and every day they go and look for the cheese. And they were used to it. Every day they know exactly where to find the cheese. Until someday, when they get there, the cheese was gone. Okay? The cheese were moved from here to here. Please look, go and grab that book. It's really an interesting read. So what happens? Sniff. The four characters have got different mindsets. And what's happening here, you can apply it in anything that happens in your life, professionally or personally. Okay? So Sniff, he has got that mindset that can see things coming. He sniffs the changes that can happen. So he's always prepared to adapt to this change. Okay, so he will not get that change as a surprise. Okay, he's always prepared for that because he sniffs the change that's coming. Scurry, on the other hand, scurry is just moving scurrily in a maze. Okay, while he is not prepared, but when the change happens, he is ready to jump into it and to find the new cheese. He adapts very quickly. He will find his way to find the new cheese and adapt to the situation. Ham and Ho on the other side, they are less prepared. They have what we call the victim mentality. Who has moved my cheese? Why did that happen? Okay? They will always complain. Okay? But there is a difference between Ham and Ho. As you can see, Ho is trying to make the step forward. And that's important. That shows that there is hope. And this guy, he complains, he has this victim mentality. Okay? He reluctantly making the move. He realizes that, okay, sitting here waiting for the cheese to come back here, that won't happen. So he is making the move and trying to see where the cheese has moved. But the fact is, the cheese has moved. Whereas Ham is like hopeless. He will sit there waiting for the cheese to come back, which will never happen. And these are the type of people that will go obsolete. Okay? So the question that you have to ask yourself today is what kind of mindset we have. If you have a mindset of sniff, brilliant. If you have a mindset of scurry, excellent. If you have a mindset of hope, there is hope. It's still good. We can work it out. But if you have a mindset of Ham, that's hopeless. That's a useless case. Hopeless case. Okay? And why I'm stressing on that? Because what we have seen in the last year, Devcon can confirm. Whilst we have seen many sniffs and scurries, we do find many hams and hoes. And that's the trick, that's the catch. If we, in this ever-changing world, what's happening in our field, IT, if we have this mentality of ham and ho, there is a less brighter future for us. Okay? Oh, sorry, I clicked on something. Yeah, so this is a question that you have to ask ourselves. Okay? You know, as we always say, change is only constant. Okay? But with AI, even change is changing. The change has changed because the velocity at which things are changing, we cannot sit having this type of mentality in this field. Okay? Change is happening everywhere, but when it comes to IT, okay, we should be the one driving change, not only embracing change, but we should be the one that is driving change. And yet, I can see lots of reluctantness, if that exists, okay, to adopt new technology, to adopt new way of doing things, okay? So, please read that book. Very interesting. So, if you look at this maze, the maze is the industry where we are working, the environment where we are performing. The cheese is our delivery, our success, our paycheck. Okay? And that's moving. We have to move together with it. If we continue to do the same thing and expect that this will happen, that's not going to happen. That's a mistake. Okay? And the rule is do good work the way you always have and the cheese stays put. This rule is changing now. Okay, and we will see later in the other slides. Okay? But not everything is doom and gloom. Okay? The idea is not to scare you. The idea is just for you to be conscious of what's happening. Okay? We are the very first day of a Devcon conference. I don't want to scare everyone. I just want you to know what's happening and get ready for that. Okay? So, the cheese is your old way of doing things. Okay? That has moved now, that has changed, and we need to adapt to that. The handwritten every line, NNN. You developers, you know that very well. I'm not a developer, okay? And when we say that this change is there, things have changed, means that, and when we're saying also that you're fired, means that someone else is taking your job. And who is taking away your job? AI? There is a misconception that AI is taking over our job. It's not AI. It's the person who is using AI that is taking your job. AI is just an enabler. Okay? Among this crowd here, do we have non-developers here just like me? Okay? So these guys are taking your job. And we will see that. In the past couple of months, without me knowing how to write a line of code, I have developed more than 5 applications up and running. And if I continue, my guys will lose their job, so I stop. Okay? So your clients are taking your job. Your bosses are taking your job away. Your internal and external clients are taking your job away. Be aware of that. Okay? So there are so many roles in this field, IT, that are impacted by this change. But I will focus only on these 3. Surely there are QA, there are testers, there are other roles, but we will not covering all of them today, but only these 3. So developers, obviously they translate ideas into working code, okay? Business analysts turning needs into clear requirements, and UI UX designers shaping how products look and feel. Would you agree with me that with AI, this has changed now? And if we don't do anything about it, we will be out of job tomorrow. Okay? So what AI is doing for developers, for instance, they are generating our codes now. We don't need developers to generate our codes. AI is doing it for us. Debugging, testing, even writing our APIs and so on. Okay? So if the developers still feel, why I'm stressing on that, because we have seen so many developers that are reluctant to change. They are not embracing AI as it should be. Okay? So AI can do everything for us now. Doing this, for doing this, I don't need a developer. Okay? But we will see later what the developer can do over and above that to add value. Business analyst, the same thing. Okay? When it comes to draft the requirements, the user stories, everything, all the artifacts that is required can now be easily be produced by AI. Okay? Same for the UI and the UX designers. Designing wireframes, prototyping. In fact, AI is not only doing it better, but much more quicker. So the time to delivery is now reduced much for all these three roles. Okay? So the uncomfortable truth is that the repetitive core of these jobs is being automated. Okay? So the cheese that we were relying on is getting smaller day by day. We need to be conscious of it. Okay? Let's look at a picture just to give a metaphor of what's happening. That's a traditional way of building. So we have the engineer and the architect looking at a plan, and the contractors, okay, the bricklayers building the home, okay? With AI, what's happening, just like a metaphor, is that these people are keeping their job. They still need to architect the house, the engineer still need to work on it. But what's happening is now a 3D printer is printing the house. So they don't need the bricklayers. Okay, they don't need the contractors. Okay? But there is hope, because this part of the job is not over yet. So, as a metaphor, these were the software developers, which AI now is replacing them. So here, the 3D printer is AI. And as I said, we have seen many examples of developers not embracing AI properly and fully. Okay? Some of them try it, but not fully. For small tasks, small piece of coding that they require. They distrust it. They still not have full trust in AI, and that's a mistake. Okay. For those who have been developing for long, after completing your development, you would normally compile your software and then release it. Okay, and that compiler is in assembly language, as you all know. But no one has gone and see what is there in the assembly language. We just accept it. We just trust it. Okay? But there are codes running inside. So similarly, when we are asking AI to generate our codes, we just need to trust. Obviously, we will need to have the proper governance to put in place. And in SWAN, that's the role of Devcon, so that not anyone just start developing the way he likes. There should be a governance. Everything should be put in place. But once that governance is in place, okay, we can easily trust what AI is giving us. Okay, there is some work to be done on AMO to start with, but once that is set, then it's just a highway. Okay, cruising speed. And obviously, some of them just resist it. And they just think that, no, just say hi, and that will go away. Mistake. AI is here to stay. So the reason for them to be afraid, and to be afraid is not a bad thing. Because then you get into this survival mode and you will try to do something else to keep your job. So being afraid is not bad. It's okay. It's okay to be afraid. So fear of obsolescence, okay? If AI is writing my code, what will I do? Will I still have a job tomorrow? We'll see that. Yes, you will. Okay? But if you don't let AI write the code for you, then you are at risk. Then your boss will ask you why the others are able to deliver quickly and you are taking so much time. Okay? Loss of craft and identity. You're proud of what you are producing, and now you're saying that it's AI that's doing that. But that's okay, because you are the architect at the back. You still need to verify what's being done. Okay? Don't forget that you instruct AI what to do. Okay? What's important is the output. AI is just a medium, just something to enable you to get there. Distress about the output. Many people still don't confidently accept what AI is giving you. But that's okay. That's where you need the governance to put in place to ensure that there is no hallucinations and the codes are correct. That's what the groundwork has to be done. Okay. Relearning fatigue. That I have seen that many times. Go and look technology and that's true. When will we stop learning? Guys, sorry, we are in a field that we need to continuously learn. Okay? But to learn, we have to unlearn first. So whatever you have learned up to now, you need to now unlearn and then relearn. And that would make you move much quicker. Because if you keep what you have learned up to now, all of them, and drag it with you with the AI era, that would be quite tough. So there should be a mindset shift to adopt this AI that's coming. So some say it's just a hype. It will come and go. Okay? Control and security, again, yeah, it has its merit. But again, when you put the proper governance in place, it will address that part too. So these fears are rational. Don't be shy about it, don't feel shame about it. It's normal, it's human. Okay? What do you do with it? That's important. Okay? So when we are saying that AI will replace me, that's the wrong argument. In fact, a peer who uses AI will replace you. So the quicker you can adopt AI, embrace it fully, okay, there is no one will replace you. So AI replaces tasks, not people. Okay? AI can do all these typing of codes and so on, but these tasks will remain with the human. And this is where you need to focus, the judgment, the context, the ownership, the taste. So the equation that we need to remember is that AI alone can't do anything. It lacks judgment, okay? And a developer alone is better than AI alone, because someone has to instruct it, lacks judgment. But a developer alone falls behind. So the right combination is the developer plus the AI, that's a winner. Okay, so I'm stressing again on that, because we have seen the relentlessness, you know what I'm saying, to adopt AI fully, mainly by developers who has been developing for years. I think the new generation of developers, it will be much more easier. So you don't compete with AI. You compete with the people who have teamed up with it. You know this saying, that's the definition of insanity. Doing the same thing and expecting a different result. Oh, you all know about that. That's the definition of insanity. But even that has changed now. Okay? That has become old. The old rules just flipped. Now doing the same thing and expecting the same result is insanity. Because we will not be able to deliver as quickly as we should. So, to keep getting the same result, now you have to do different things in our space. So, we are developers, IT guys, or like an escalator. The bad thing is, the escalator is going down, and we are trying to go up. And this is where new technologies just go obsolete. And for us to keep track, or at least to stay where we were, we have to work hard. So we have to struggle to go up the escalator while the technology is going down. So that's our daily struggle. So using AI, the biggest benefit that you will get is you will save much time. And some people, some developers in some organizations, they feel that if they are doing the task much quicker, okay, the boss will say that you are sitting idle, doing nothing. But that's not true. Okay, leading this team myself, I am more than happy that my developers develop much quicker, even if they sit and don't push. Okay? Which will not happen because you have got other things to do. But the speed to go to the market is key. We don't need people sitting 8 to 5 just to show that they are working. What we are interested in is output. The reason why also we had to terminate certain contracts because they were not up to the speed. Okay? Projects that were taking months, if not years, before are now taking weeks, if not days, with AI. And that's the way we are going. So sure, you will have much time left because you will be using AI to do things faster. And that's not a threat, that's a dividend that you get. And the better you invest those dividends going forward, the better results you will get. You will shift faster, you reinvest in yourself, okay? Trying to learn new things, move up the escalator, and move upstream. So with this time, you have to augment yourself. Let AI do the thing. You have to reinvent yourself, augment yourself. So we are doing much on the developer's side is to how to adopt AI to develop better, to develop quicker, okay? But the strong message today is that is not enough. It's like the contractor now owning the 3D printer, okay? But that's not enough. Being a better developer today with AI is good, but that should not be your goal. Okay? So the how to build it, that's AI job. They will build it quicker for you. Where you guys have to focus going forward, okay? If you really want to climb up the ladder, is to focus on that part. Last year when I was here, I don't know how many of you were here, I spoke about framing the problem. Is to identify exactly what to develop, okay? Many developers, they are like these bricklayers, and they just wait for instructions, okay? Instructions comes to them, and then they develop. So, keeping that mindset, we will end up like ham and hoe. So the right mind shift that you need to happen is the how will be handled by AI. Let's focus on the what. Try to understand the client. Try to understand really that's worth developing or not. Okay, get into the business mode, because this is where you can add value. The AI will do a better job than you developing the codes. But you need to instruct the AI properly to ensure that what's developing, it's worth developing. I'll give you an example, and most of you know about this. You know, there was an engine in a big factory that was broken down. And many engineers came, tried to fix it, and it was never solved. So someone told the maintenance manager, call this handyman down the road and ask him to fix that. And maintenance manager was laughing, because if the engineers could do it, why this one will do? But reluctantly, he calls him, and this guy comes, look at the engine, okay, try to figure out what's not working out, okay, and then reach out to his toolbox, remove the hammer, okay, and did a tap at one part of the engine, and asked the maintenance manager to start it, and the problem was solved. Okay, and he sends a bill of 25,000 rupees. The maintenance manager said, no way, I'm not going to pay 25,000 rupees for a single tap. Okay, so ask the handyman to give me an itemized bill. I want to know how he come up to that figure. So that's the itemized bill. Okay, so the transport is 500, the labor, the tap is 500, but knowing where to tap is 25,000 is 24,000 rupees. So the AI is a hammer. Anyone can use it. Once you know exactly where to tap, you could have given that hammer to anyone, and they would have done exactly what this handyman has done. But that's not the question here. Is to know where to tap, is to really frame the problem, is to find out exactly what is going wrong. Then you can tell the AI to do it for you. Okay? So that's the mindset, and that's where you have to focus. Not on the 500 rupees, but on the 24,000 rupees. The 5,000 is the hammer, is the AI. He will do the job for you. Okay? So deciding what is harder than how. But this is where you need to go, because it requires judgment, problem framing. Those who were here last year, I spoke, the entire keynote was on problem framing. Okay? You need to have the domain depth and also the taste to know exactly what's good, what's wrong. AI is not there yet. Okay? So the new skill set that you will now adopt, okay, with AI, because AI is doing the job you used to do, is orchestration, critical review, system thinking, the product sense. communication, continuous learning. Now it's like a SWAT, if you know what is a SWAT. You turn your threats into opportunities. What you were seeing as threats is now an opportunity for you. Let AI do the thing and let me do something else. Something more valuable. Something where I can prove that I am properly contributing to the project. And this is how you do it. So how to overcome the fear? Surely it will not come tomorrow, like it will take time. So you just need to start it and you will get there. Start small. Try drafting some codes on a low risk task if you are not there yet. Okay? Verify everything if you still don't trust. Okay? Build fluency. Try it every day and you'll be used to it. And redefine your values. That's important. Move up the ladder. Redefine your value. You are not just a coder. You're a solution provider. You provide solutions. Coding is just a means to get there. So the roles didn't die. They just scale up. So at the start when I told you you're fired, that was not really true. But it depends on you, if you want to scale up or not. If you are the scurries or the sniffs or even the holes, you will get there. But if you are the ham, you won't get there. Developers will be considered as problem solver, an architect. This is where you need to find yourself. Business analysts are value strategists. So you have to change the way you do things and get into that role. That's your challenge, that's your mission. And UI UX are experienced steward. You are the voice of the customer, of your colleagues when it comes to system design. I want it like that. I want this type of experience. This is how you scale up. So if you are making this shift, don't focus on this side. Because this is something that AI can do for you. Just like the 3D printer. The conductors are out of job. The bricklayer is out of job. He's being replaced. So if you really want to make the shift, you have to focus on this side, on the left side. Try to understand, why are we building this home? Why has it been designed like this? How can I contribute? What was the request from the customer? Why did he ask or she ask the house to be built that way? Why the architect suggested that way? And. Because now you will have time. The software architect or the user stories and so on, okay? This is where you need to be. Because that part where you were just coding, someone else will do it for you. His name is Claude, okay? You just now need to focus more on the customer side, on the why side, on the what side, not on the how. And that will be the one thing that will ensure that you have a bright future and not end up, as I said at the start, your file. The same here. Don't focus on the HANA. HANA is just a tool. AI is just a tool. Trying to know exactly where to hit is a challenge. This is where you need to be. This is where you need to focus. So, don't ask who moved my cheese. Don't be in that victim mentality that they're asking me to do something else or whatever. But better, go find the new cheese. And new cheese is moving up the ladder. Is trying to do something different. Is trying to learn something else. So your job was never about the code. It was about the value you could bring. And AI is giving you that opportunity to bring more value in what you do. Believe me,
Bluetooth mode.
My bad.
the SWAN
Power
has AI.
off.
Yeah, that Gemini is not happy with me. Yeah, so AI is giving you the opportunity today to bring more value, and I can assure you, your bosses will be happy if you stop coding and bringing more value to the project that you're working on. So the cheese has moved. That's given. The question is whether you will move with it. And for real, that was my last slide. Thank you for your attention. Any question? If it's technical, I will ask my technical team.
No, it's more management. And you, as a leader, in your organisation, maybe I will frame easier for me. Quelles sont les actions à impact que vous auriez recommandées aux autres leaders dans une situation de grosse entreprise pour justement accompagner les personnes qui sont en opposition avec
Oui, alors on a fait face à ce problème. Hein. Alors c'est exactement le cas